Hi, so you want to go to graduate school. You really want to go to graduate school. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching this video. Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back. This is the second part to the last video that I made last week. If you haven't seen that, I will link it up here, where I talked about what you as a first year or about to start college could do to get into graduate school, if you're thinking about that. Now, this video is about what to do if you're a second or third year in college, sophomore or junior in college. So you really want to get into grad school, like you're there, you're ready. If you're a senior, fourth year, just starting to think about graduate school, please do me a favor and exit out this video and never look back again, okay? It's too late for you, okay? In this video, I will go through what you need to do exactly to get into graduate school during your sophomore and junior year in order to have a decent chance at getting into a graduate program. Again, my qualifications, my background, if you're new, hi, I am a recent college graduate. I graduated about nearly 5 months ago. I applied to 6 master's programs and so far have gotten into only half of them. If you want to know more about that, I will link a video right here and down below. I knew I wanted to go to grad school before I started college, and I did every single thing that I could to get this opportunity, and now here we are 3 years later, and I just need to choose where to go. So I think I was pretty successful, a little too successful, because now I'm starting to freak out a little bit. I applied to a pretty competitive program, and so I think if you follow what I'm about to tell you, you'll have a decent chance at getting in. If you are in your sophomore year of college, you just finished your first year, you're starting to establish your presence on campus, you're like, okay, now what do I need to do? You need to get into a laboratory, okay? You need to get into one. Now, how do you do that? I think I mentioned last video that the thing about graduate school is all about research. It's research, that's all it is, pure research, right? So what you need to get research experience, and how do you do that? You get into a lab. How do you do that? Okay, lab/research assistant, RAs positions are extremely competitive, okay? This is how you do it. First, you need to talk to your major specific professors, okay? Major specific. Don't talk to your English comp professor, talk to your major specific. You ask them about their research. Usually, if you go into the faculty website, they will have a link to a website of their work, etc., of their research. Ask them about the research, read up on their research, literally search them up on Google Scholar or something and look at what they've done, because you need to be very familiar with what they've done so they're impressed, okay? Again, it's a very competitive position, so you need to be well read. Ask, after doing all this, ask if they're taking any research assistants anytime soon. Maybe they'll say yes, and you're like, okay, could I have an application? They'll give you an application, you fill it out, and then you'll have an interview, okay? Follow me, right? Ask them, application, interview. After the interview, hopefully that goes well. I'm not going to tell you how to do an interview because, figure that out. They're going to send out a decision in a couple weeks because they need to talk about it with their grad students, etc. Now, my experience, I feel like I got really lucky. So it was my spring semester of sophomore year. I was taking a class well above my pay grade, so to say. I was not supposed to be in this class because it was a little bit up for me. So I was taking the class and we had to do a presentation by ourselves, and mine was really high stakes for whatever reason, and I did really well on it. Apparently I got a really high grade and my professor was really impressed. And anyway, so I went to a research symposium, conference, etc., where there's just a bunch of people presenting research, because I wanted to get into a lab. I wanted to see hey, what's out there. And my professor from the class, he was like, hey, I really liked your presentation, because we saw each other. And I was like, oh, hey, I'm looking for a lab. And he's like, come to my lab. So, the rest is history. He invited me to his lab. I did the application, interview, etc. And I was in his lab for 3 semesters. The lab has all the power in your career, okay? This is the thing, okay? Because like I said, graduate school is all about research. This is the research you're going to do in order to have experience to get into graduate school. Firstly, your PI, the professor that oversees your lab, they're going to be the letter of recommendation because you work with them, you've done research for them. Like, it is going to be the letter. So you need to have a good relationship with him and the grad students. And it also gives you research experience, which is highly, highly valuable, okay? If you don't have it, say goodbye to your chances of getting into graduate school, okay? It gives you an advantage to others that might not have it. Your main focus should be to get into a lab and do everything that you can to stay there. So at my school, they asked you to stay for at least 2 semesters. I did 3. It is like really often advised to stay for 3 semesters in a lab or do research experience for 3 semesters. I would say go for the full 4. If you're a sophomore, go for the full 4. Do years of research, so that way you have such a good chance at getting into graduate school. That was sophomore year. Now it is your junior year. If you're a 3rd year, junior year, listen up. If you're not in a lab, apply. Okay, apply for a lab. That is your main focus. Once you're in a lab, you're golden, okay? Start thinking about what program you want to go into. Now, if you don't already know, what are you doing? What are you doing here? I don't understand. If you don't already know, like, skip this video, exit out, reconsider your life choices. Things to consider in the program that you want to go into. Competitiveness. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Competitiveness. I did not know that the program that I want to go into was super competitive. So that, in-state versus out-of-state tuition, okay? Because, girl, that out-of-state tuition does not play. It like doubles or triples just simply because you're not from state, okay? Interest level. So how interested are you in the topic, okay? Because I was also thinking about applying to masters in social work, but they get paid very little and I'm not about that life. Prerequisites, so what prerequisites you need to take or what we've already taken by this point. Masters versus doctoral, masters versus a PhD program. Bro, going to a PhD program right after undergrad, may God have mercy on your soul, right? And also your experience versus what they ask for. So you want to match the program to what you already have under your belt. That would be pretty much common sense, right? So for example, I knew I wanted to get a PhD in clinical psychology. That was my goal, okay? PhD in clinical psychology. That's what I thought I was gonna do right after my undergrad. Yeah, no, no. After being in a lab and talking and working with PhD students, I decided that life was not for me. Okay, that life was not for me. So I decided to get my master's instead, or first, because that's a little bit in between. It doesn't go from undergrad chilling to hard work PhD. Also because it's nearly impossible to get a PhD in clinical psychology, to like get into a program. It is just absolutely insane how difficult it is. It was extremely difficult to just get into a master's. Okay, like you're in a lab, ask to present research at conferences, symposiums, etc. Wherever you can present research, ask to present, okay? It is like the thing you need to do. Directly ask either the grad students or your PI to get more involved, like directly involved in the lab. They will absolutely love that. They love help. They love when the students want to learn. Get to know your grad students. For sure, okay? I was very, very lucky to have wonderful, wonderful grad students that were just so amazing. I heard horror stories from other labs where the grad students were mean and like it was just bad. But the grad students are going to be like your #1 source for like that letter of rec, because they're gonna help the PI write it. So you need to have a good relationship with both your PI and the grad students and also the other students in your lab, okay? Okay, you got that down. Psychi. So Psychi is an international honor society for psychology students, and apparently it looks really good on your CV. And also they, help you apply to grad school. So I don't know. I joined Psychi for like, I don't know, a semester actually, but it looks good to have on your CV basically. So look to see if your school has a Psychi organization. Ask the faculty advisor for an application. You do need to have a specific general GPA, a specific psychology GPA, and certain credits under your belt, like before even applying. And also there is a one-time application fee. It's very like, I don't like anything about it because it's so like elitist, but I did it anyways because the CV, etc. It's just networking, connections, etc. Now is the time to get ready. Applications. You've done all the work. So it's your junior year. Don't start on applications like just yet, but definitely compile a list of at least 5 programs or schools that you want to go to. Now, if it is competitive, you need to do at least 10. because it's competitive, so you need to have as many opportunities as possible to get in. I applied to 6 because that's just I talk about it in another video that I'll link down here. So at least 5 programs. Carefully look through the program description and application requirements, okay? And write them down somewhere. Write down, what this program wants, like they want a personal statement, the CV, blah, 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 3 letters of rec, etc. So I'm gonna show you mine. This is what I did. I just made a little Google Doc titled it grad schools and just literally wrote down every single grad school on here. I've got about 7. So what I just basically did was write, the name of the school and then the program. The program is actually, as you can see, it is a link. So it just takes me right directly to the program. Literally wrote down the description, like I said, application requirements, like everything, bro, deadline, etc., etc. And just some general notes. Same for here. Again, program name, the description, requirements, etc. So you have all of this on one single document. That would be really great. I literally did this when I was in my junior semester. You need to write that down somewhere and start working on personal statements or essays. Don't just brainstorm. They usually ask, why do you want to get this degree and what are you going to use the degree for and why should we have you into our school? And you need to have a really good answer. You can't just if you're just in it to win it, get out. Get out. Just look at the prompts, make an outline, etc. Don't actually start working on it, but you should start to brainstorm, come up with a good reason if you don't have one. I don't know. And if you need to take the GRE, start studying for it. I would highly advise that you do not take it if the program requires it. I can't say what I would potentially do on the YouTube platform, but just don't. If you don't have to take it, don't take it. Look at me. This is the face of a person that has taken it. So that's all I have. Again, I will link the Google Doc that I put all the information on because it's a little bit more detailed down below, like I did last time, with an updated version of both years. And I also included senior year, but it's not fully done because I'm currently in my senior year, technically. I would be graduating this weekend. Actually, the day that this comes out, I would have been graduating. It won't be complete since I'm still going through the process, but I will finish it up once that's done. I'm having right now a very, very, very hard time deciding on where I should go because I've been accepted to 3 schools, and out of those 3, it's kind of just between 2. It's just, I'm should I go to the school based on the program, even though it's super far away for me and I literally would rather bleep than do that trip twice a year? Or should I go to the place where I like the location and it's closer to home, but it's not the program that I'm really wanting? I'm in that sort of mess right now. I literally thought it was gonna be the easiest part, and it's actually very extremely difficult. And also the person that I would turn to advice killed himself. So I will tell you right now that applying to grad school is not worth it. It's never worth it. It's never worth it. They do not want you there. They do not want society to progress and succeed, okay? It's emotionally and mentally extremely taxing, physically taxing on your body, okay? It's not something that you want to do. Even though I am making these videos to help others apply to grad school, yes, I am telling you to not do it. Yes, I applied. Yes, I'm still going. I don't want to though. Nobody wants to, but I'm still doing it, right? So once I finish the entire process and starting the process of going to the school, blah, 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 I will make a final product, a final part, and upload that. Could take about a month though. I don't know what's going on right now. But the next video is a post-grad week in my life in April where things go horribly wrong or horribly right. It was a tough week. It was a tough week. Subscribe to see that and also more advice on how to get into grad school, etc. And also to see where I go to grad school, because I will know maybe next week, maybe this weekend, maybe this. Oh, also, I'm making a vlog this week about, where I go back to my college city and look at schools and try to negotiate and stuff like that. So if you want to see that, that's going to come out next month. Subscribe. I'll see you next week.